SR. The games coming up, we got Oklahoma versus Georgia and Clemson versus Bama. And on the phone, we got one of our guys who's running up and down the road doing Real Talk Tees all the way live from Bama. And there he is on the phone, D. Will, the coach. What up, D?
What's happening, crew?
What's happening?
What up, Weezy? I totally agree with. Looking back at some of the numbers of this game, Oklahoma led the nation in passing. They completed like 71% of their passes and had almost 4,800 yards of total offense. Of passing yards.
Right.
With like 44 TDs, and that's awesome. They only gave up 21 sacks. And when we look at Georgia's defense, their defense, which was sixth in the nation, allowed 3,500 yards for the year, which was an average of about 271 yards a game.
Right.
And they only gave up, 185 yards rushing. 185 yards passing. So that's in itself, like you said, contrasting styles. Georgia only gave up 13 points a game this year.
Yeah.
So we're looking at an explosive offense in Oklahoma and a defense in Georgia that, like I said, sixth in the nation. You really can't knock what they did defensively this year. The problem to me, and like D. Will said, is Georgia's offense has to limit Oklahoma's possessions, and I think they can. If you look at what Oklahoma did on defense this year, they were 81st in the country in total defense. And we're talking about a major college school, major conference. Mm-hmm. They gave up 5,002 total yards and 385 yards a game. They gave up 1,824 yards rushing, which is right up what Georgia does. Georgia has three backs. One is over 1,000 in Chubb. I think Sony Michel is over 900 yards, 948 yards, and then you got Swift. Swift had 597. So you got three running backs that can do this thing that Oklahoma can't do.
That's almost 2,600 yards rushing from three backs.
Exactly. So, and then all of them, they say Michelle and Chubb had 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So apiece. So, like we said, I think the formula, like D. Will said, I agree with you. The formula is to keep Baker Mayfield on the sidelines with that vaunted offense, and I think Georgia has the tools to do it. Mm-hmm. And they also have, like we said, they got pressure defense that can get there. You got two ends that can come get Baker. If they can just keep him from moving around too much, keep him in the pocket, and go get him squeeze the pocket, I think Georgia has a better than average chance to beat Oklahoma.
Okay.
Honestly, I expect this game to be higher scoring than most people think it will. I think right now the over-under is set at 60. So when you guys already hit on the key points, and what's most important to note is that I think Georgia has to control the trenches. The offensive line has to be dominant. They have to establish the run. And like you guys said, time of possession and keeping Mayfield off the field is key. And on the other end, like with all great quarterbacks, you have to knock Baker Mayfield off his spot. You can't let him run around, curse people out, do whatever he does, and hit open receivers, open tight ends. And I think Oklahoma's personnel was a lot better last year, but this is the best offense that Georgia has seen, in my opinion, this year. So I think if Oklahoma, if they can come out and get ahead, and if they can put up some points early and often, I think it forces Georgia into a very uncomfortable situation because you're going to have to make them do what they don't do best, which is throw the ball.
Right.
So if Oklahoma can come out and get them down early, I think it works in their favor. But if Georgia comes out and establishes the run, which is what they should, which is their game, I think it'll be an easy win for Georgia if they do that.
I think one thing we have to think about is this. Oklahoma defense is not good.
Not at all.
Not at all, right? Now, Georgia got three running backs that can go. But this is the thing. What if Georgia go 4 plays and 60 yards on the run? That means you're giving the ball right back to them.
Yep.
You see, if they score too quick running, because Oklahoma is known for giving up gasses, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That means I'm gonna put the ball back in Mayfield's hand. So does Georgia eat up the clock and not try to get them gasses, or when they do get gasses, they're going to be scoring and giving the ball back to Oklahoma, which to me I think is going to have to come down to two young coaches trying to make an adjustment in game and who which coach can make the best in-game adjustments to say, I need to stop this and make this team do something that they're not used to doing. Let's move to the KD, LeBron, end of the game. Bron say he got fouled twice by KD, so the question is, has KD starting to get disrespect? And has KD starting to get disrespect?
Go ahead.
Has KD starting to get the respect of the refs because he has a ring now?
No, it has been like this since LeBron came to the league. He's bigger than everybody. He's faster than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He has the sack syndrome. They don't call fouls for him. He is allowed to get beat up whenever he goes to the basket. If that was any other player on that one particular play where he was fouled twice on that one play, LeBron was fouled twice. It was clear as day that he was fouled twice on that one play. If that was any other player, that foul would have been called because they would have been knocked off their spot. Even though LeBron was fouled, it didn't look that way because he wasn't knocked off his spot. Anybody else would have went flying into the third row. Now, we give LeBron a lot of heat for flopping. Now, he did flop earlier in the possession before that when KD knocked the ball out of bounds. LeBron flopped on that. That wasn't a foul. It could have been called, but it wasn't a foul. LeBron tried to flop. On the one where he penetrated to the basket, he was fouled twice, and that foul should have been called. Now, are we going to say it's a respect for KD because he's won a championship? But I don't believe that's the case. I just believe it's we don't call fouls against LeBron syndrome. All right? I believe it's that he when he goes to the basket and when he penetrates, he doesn't get the calls that he needs to get. Simply because he's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else who plays with him.
All right, let's hear it.
That was a superstar call that LeBron normally gets, and he didn't get it because he was playing against another superstar. And I think that what's happening in this league is that you have to get to a certain level before they start swallowing the whistle. And they starting to swallow the whistle on KD a lot. It's not only that call that he got a bunch of calls in the game.
He was actually fouled twice. He was fouled on his initial drive. KD bumped him, and he disrupted his momentum to the basket. And then as he ascended to the basket, he was hit on the hand. So the NBA, they admitted it was fouls. And like we talked about earlier with these calls and technology, in my opinion, it's ruined the game. That's the problem. Yeah. Why would you even come out?
D-Will, let's go ahead and crank it up, man. Clemson, Alabama, the trilogy. Deshaun Watson is not here for this third game. I know he threw over 400 yards. Kelly Bryant, it's a new stage for the young guy. Go ahead and give us that breakdown for it.
Now, this is going to be a very interesting game. Like you said earlier, this is the trilogy. They have met 3 straight years in the college football playoff finals. First 2 years was in the final game. Bama won the first, Clemson won it last year, and this year they're meeting in the semifinal game. And like you say, it has been turnover on the rosters, but if you look at these two teams, they're mirror images of each other. All right, they play hit you in the mouth defense. Clemson, in my opinion, has the best defense in the country right now. This is the first year that you can really argue that Clemson has a better defense than Alabama. And this is the first year also that you can really make an argument that Clemson probably should be favored, even though in Vegas, Bama is favored as of right now. But in my opinion, it's going to come down to the quarterback. Like I say, everything else I really believe is a wash. I think the offensive line, the defensive line is a wash. I believe the secondaries are a wash. Wide receivers are a wash. It's going to come down to the quarterback. Which quarterback can make the play to win the game? All right? Kelly Bryant, this is his first time on this stage. He's never been here before. He's never been in a game of this magnitude. So I'm real interested to see if he's going to be able to handle the pressure and do the things and make the plays that need to be made in order to help Clemson win the football game. We all know about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been here before. All right? He was here last year, and if you go back and remember, that last drive prior to giving the ball back to Clemson, Jalen Hurts did everything possible that he needed to do. He made the correct throws. He broke out and scrambled and got yards with his feet. Even the touchdown that he scored prior to giving the ball back to Deshaun Watson was a great scramble. He dropped back, didn't have anything. He broke up the middle with about a 15, 20-yard touchdown, which put Bama up, and everybody thought at that point that the game was over, but it left Deshaun Watson a little bit too much time. Deshaun Watson's not walking out of that locker room this year, all right? So can Kelly Bryant be the one to make the plays in order against that Bama defense on that stage be able to make the plays, throwing and running in order to beat Bama. And I think that's the key to the game. And in my opinion, I'm not sure if he's ready for that spotlight just yet. So I'm giving a slight edge to Alabama, and I'm going to go 28-24 Bama.
Since going behind that, he said everything that I had written down.
Said everything like he was
Mirror imaging of each other.
Right.
Quarterbacks are going to tell the game, which one can make a play. Both defenses are dynamic. The only thing that, like he said to me, that might give Clemson the edge is the injuries that Alabama has had.
He decided by effort. These are two teams they're both familiar with each other. Mm-hmm. They pretty much know what each other is going to do. So, like D. Will said, he said everything that there is to be said. But I just think it's going to come down to sheer will and effort. Whoever wants it most, and I am a bit concerned about Clemson's running game. Kelly Bryant does lead them in rushing, so I would like to see some of their running back steps up because this is going to be a game of ball control, time of possession, and placement on the field. So this is how would you say it? A field game.
Field goal game?
Not field goal game, but
Field position.
Yeah, field position game. This is what this is going to be. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, I'm not looking forward to this game at all.
Continue to follow us at SRT Radio. We on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got a YouTube channel, SRT Sports Talk Radio. Please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe and make sure you hit the bell.
Yeah.